day to day. I never had that day to day.
Yeah, I mean, I used to go to his apartment.
You grew up with him.
He was brash, and he was like raw, man. He just said whatever came out of his mouth. And I will remember the time, I think I told you, right here on Ventura Boulevard, that him and Jerry Brainerd were walking down Ventura Boulevard, and this is when Arnold told the story to Jerry, which was great. Jerry's, can't believe it today. He says, Jerry, he says, do you know one day, he says, you know who Steve Reeves is? And Jerry said, yeah. He says, well, you know, one day they're going to be talking about me in the same light as they talk about Steve Reeves. And Jerry says, oh, yeah, right. He says, but you want to know the most fantastic thing of all, Jerry? I'm going to be the biggest star in Hollywood. And Jerry said, he just laughed like crazy.
Wasn't it funny?
He says, yeah, right. You can't speak English or a bodybuilder and you got the name Schwarzenegger?
And you know something? And you take that E out and put an I in his nigger.
Yeah, I know it.
Black nigger.
Well, you know,
do you know that?
Schwarzer means...
Schwarz is black.
Black, yeah.
And you would
I
think,
used to tease him about it.
And you think that he would change it.
No.
They changed it to Arnold Strong. You think he would change it because Hollywood said, not him.
No, but he says, that's the way people are going to remember who I am. Schwarzer, that's how they're going to remember
me. He could get rid of that accent too if he
yeah.
wants. If he wants, he can get rid of that.
That's him. That's part of his
master.
Yeah.
Well, that's the contempt he had for the masses. He always admired Hitler, not for what Hitler did to killing the Jews.
No.
But that Hitler could mesmerize a nation.
Yeah.
He thought he'd come to California and mesmerize, but he couldn't mesmerize them unions.
Yeah.
Them unions don't give a damn.
Exactly.
How many Terminators you made, buddy?
Exactly. See, that I think that was a space he was in that was a gray area. Like
no, he thought he could dominate wherever he went.
But he can't.
But you know what I like about him too?
At least he tried.
He could turn on a dime.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's not one of the ideologues that keep going until he falls off the cliff. If he finds he'll turn around in a minute.
Right, let me go back. Well, because he could see at the end, it's like, you know what, okay. Let me go back to that. It's fine. I did it, but you know what? I'll come back over here because I can dominate this more. I'm a little bit out of my field, but at least I got there. How many guys can claim? How many bodybuilders can say they became governor?
Well, look, you know what happened, how fascinating it is to him and me with him? When he saw his movie career was dying, he said, well, where's my next step? And they talk about him being a senator. He could never be a senator because he's one of the boys. He can't be one of the boys.
No.
You got to be top man.
No, he could never.
He could never be a senator.
No, they would never accept him in.
No, he wouldn't be if they would, because he don't want to be one of the boys. Yeah, you got to be top dog.
Yeah,
and you can't be top dog.
He wants to be head of the class. Yeah. I'm the teacher. Y'all my students. And if I can't be the principal of the school, then I don't want to be here. That's what he wants. He wants to be the principal. Yeah. You guys are teachers, the students. I'm the head guy here at this school. I'm running it. And they said, no, we don't think so.
And he's a chummer. You know another thing I find with him? He don't need certification.
No.
He don't need to tell you. He don't need you to tell him he's somebody. He knows it.
Yeah.
You know how these guys walk around pretend that they got it all together. Inside they reek with self-doubt?
Mm-hmm.
Not him.
Arnold knew it.
He's there. That's why you can't embarrass him. I used to say, hail Hitler to him. I said, how about, they say, Arnold, they casting for U-boat captains. You know, in the Second World War, the U-boat was a German submarine. And I said, they cast, I think you could apply. He done before he went to the movie. And he would laugh. Some people that have a problem, oh man, get out of here, fuck you. You know, he laughed.
Yeah, maybe that's fantastic. Yeah.
I said,
that means I have control.
They casted for U-boat captains. You know, I used to like to needle him, you know.
You always recognize that he wanted to be in control of everything that went on. He wanted to take control of his destiny, take control of whatever was going on at the time.
So now he can die in peace. He don't need no more movies. He don't need none of that shit. He has done it all. Where's he going from here?
Well,
they want to change the law so he can run for governor. I mean, for president.
Well,
that's never going to work.
This is what I always tell people. I says, you know, everybody talks about the American dream. Well, Arnold has lived the American dream better than anybody in this country. Think about this. Think about this. He has lived the dream. Listen, he came here with nothing. Joe was only paying him $100.
Well, I know Joe. Joe went heavy on the bread.
I mean, he had no clothes to wear hardly. He couldn't speak English. Drove that beat up old red Volkswagen. And look at him today. I mean, he married a Kennedy. He became the biggest star in Hollywood. the best bodybuilder in the world, and those are all the things he said he was going to do before it even happened.
But he never mentioned politics to me,
No.
though.
Oh, but he did mention
later
somebody
on,
else, though. He told
must have been later on in life.
5 years before he was the governor, he told people,
What did he say?
I'm going to be the governor of California.
Well, yeah, well, I wouldn't
No,
have
he told somebody told.
Isn't that amazing?
That's him. He likes to
and
make
if
a
it wasn't
prediction.
for that recall, he'd have never made it. Because he couldn't have won the primary.
But it's like
You know that?
Muhammad Ali remember he used to predict the round he was going to knock somebody out in. That's who Arnold reminds me of.
But you know what was fascinating? That's what I say with anything you do. The doors that open. In other words, the recall, he could have never won a Republican primary. Right. He wasn't conservative enough.
Right, exactly.
But the recall, it was open to everybody, and that's how he was able to win on the recall. Who would ever think they were going to recall the governor?
Yeah. Arnold,
he would have had to run the Republican primary.
Exactly.
He was too socially liberal to win the conservative Republican primary.
Arnold took advantage of every opportunity that came along.
That antenna was out.
Yeah. And you have to take the opportunity.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And when it comes, you got to go for it. He who hesitates is lost.
But you know, his whole life was on the make.
Oh yeah.
Everything he did, and everything was temporary.
Well, if you think
about it, just like you said, I didn't even know he did that because you were closer to him and you dealt with him on a daily basis. I didn't deal with him on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, I mean.
And you see him like laying brick. Now see, the inadequate would have been beneath him. I'm not gonna lay no damn brick. I'm gonna be a star. That's the end of you.
Yeah, but he knew that had to be a means to the end.
He'd pee on the brick and get him up there.
He did whatever he had to do to get from point A to point B, and he wasn't shy about it.
I know, beautiful, beautiful.
I
just hate to see what they're doing.
So on the other side, you have to say you can love him or hate him, but you have to respect.
But why should you hate him?
No, but you have to respect what he's done. Whether you hate him or not, you still have to respect the things that he's accomplished. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, the guys can scream and holler, but he did it. Hey, no, we should actually be ashamed of ourselves. Here's a guy who came here, didn't know the lay of the land, didn't know the language, nothing, and he took our lunch.
No, I don't know, because we all have levels and
well, he had aspirations
but he had the kind of stuff that I don't have.
Yeah, well, no,
I couldn't do what he did.
But you know what it is? We're too used to being inside the box. See, he was outside looking in. He could see the opportunities where, think about this. Our kids in this country are screaming and hollering, I don't have no opportunity, I can't do this, and I can't. Why is it when other kids from other countries, they excel? Because they see the opportunities that we don't. Or they have much more, gumption and want to work hard. We've made our kids, I think, in America kind of lazy. We made it too easy. Everything comes too easy.
Something here, though.
In Europe, I lived in Europe for 3 years. Nothing comes easy. They have to work for it. I lived in Switzerland. They work 12, 14 hour days.
They don't have Arnolds in Europe. They don't make Arnolds.
Not anymore.
They don't make stars. They're not. You can't be a Kardashian in Europe. They don't have Kardashians in Europe. They're not designed that way.
But when you come here, if you have those aspirations and you go after it, you have the opportunity to get it. That's what I'm saying. We don't see those opportunities a lot of time.